Hello and welcome back to Saxlingham. So we are still in the winter and we are now today going around and chopping off a few tree branches that are in the way down all our lanes, so they're not going to be in the way for us later in the year. We've got a few lanes to cover. We've got two vehicles out here and our flashing lights are going. We're hoping no one drives around and gets clobbered by a falling branch. But we've got one of our guys in the bucket and we're about to lift him up to have this branch off, which sticks out a bit over the road. So we'll just give that a gentle lift and lift him up to the branch. So we've lifted our guy up and he's just going to cut that branch off of there. And there we go. That's that one gone. So that is now clear of the road and we can just use the bucket just to shove it back in the verge out the way. So we're just going to shove that now back into the verge out the way. I'm not going to bother taking any of these away. Just shove them out the way so they just rot away in the hedge. So that's that. So we can now move on to the next one. Now that was quite a big branch there, but it was a bit in the way of bringing the combine down there. So I'll just let him back down. So we'll just shove that one back in the hedge, out the way. See a branch there just still sticking out in the road. So got rid of that. Right, so we have another one here that's sticking out in the road, but we're going to have the whole thing out rather than just trim it. We're just going to cut the whole thing to the ground and then shove it back up in this forest area. So there's two main bits coming out of that, so we'll have the whole lot out and that gets it out of the way then. Don't know which way that's going to fall. That first one definitely go that way. Well, there's only one we've got to try and push back in. Try and shove that up over the very thin bit of hedge back into that woodland. We've got the older string neck bucket on now, so it doesn't matter if we damage it too much. Right, so we'll move on now until we find the next one. Right, so we've actually just come across a tree that has actually fallen down, which we haven't noticed, which must have done that in the last few days in a bit of a storm we had. So, and it's fallen right across one of our tracks we use, not one of the actual main roads. So we're going to get this all cut up and moved out of the way. So that's a pretty big old tree that's fallen down there. So it looks like that's our work to do because it's technically on our land. That's the old neighbour's boundary, that fence I suppose. Right, that is it. So we've chopped all that up and tidied it up and left it in a bit of a pile there. But at least it's off our track and out of the way. So we are going to carry on looking for trees to remove, as we're going to be doing this for about a week or so, I expect. So we're going to carry on with this winter jobs when we finish this, and then we'll be on to our spring drilling. So welcome to the start of our new year on the farm. So it is now the spring, and it is the 1st of March, and we are starting drilling. A few spring barley fields we've got to drill. So this is where we done some of our last jobs, which was manure spreading, so that was right away over the winter, quite nice. And we've got a set of discs that have started out here. And the drill is here, ready to get going. But obviously needs to let him get a bit ahead of himself first. So we have got some discs on demo, some RAL Onyx discs, rather than using our normal Vadasad top down. This is a new machine that we're just trying out on demo. So hopefully we'll get to wear that out on all the work we've got to do before we give it back. That seems to be doing quite a good job. So I'm sure that won't be too long before he's ahead and the drill can start. So we're just going to pop off and have a look at the other tractor we've got out, which is starting to get some of our maize ground ready for this year. So we're up the top here on this other side of the road, and we're starting to get this oilseed radish that we planted back in the autumn after the maize all cultivated in, as we are going to have the same 4 fields again this year for maize. It's starting to go off a bit now, so it's about the right time to get it all shot back into the ground. We've got the old 6R215 here with the simmer on. That's doing a pretty good job of chopping that lot up. So that's where we're at on Saxlingham. We've vlogged for a year on here, and we've pretty much come to the end of it now. We've come full circle. So that is going to be it for the Saxlingham series. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch you in the next one.